Two more really easy mods for my new Toyota Tacoma, and I made a rather disheartening discovery today. Well, good morning everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. I've got a couple of really quick and easy mods for the new Toyota Tacoma sitting over there. And I did make a really kind of a shocking discovery today while I was washing and cleaning up the truck. We'll get to that in just a couple minutes, something I'm going to have to deal with. But the mods that I'm going to do today, it's more chrome elimination for the interior. We've got some new vent rings to cover up that chrome around the vents. And something I've never done before, this is a little cover. It's kind of hopefully a snap-on thing. It goes over the little collar underneath the shift knob. So we're gonna see how this one works. All of this stuff is from AJT, by the way. So let's hop in the truck, get these things put on, and then I'm gonna tell you what my rather shocking discovery is. All right, we're inside the truck here, and we're going to start with the chrome deletion, or cover-up, I guess, of the vent rings. And what I'm talking about, these rings right here that are chrome. What I ordered were 4 of these little covers, if you will. They have double-sided tape on the back, and they just sit right over the top like so. Now, you may be wondering, how well do they stick? I've never had any issues with them. I've had them on several trucks, actually, and they stick really well. The challenge is, how do I want to put them? Do I want the little nub here at the top? Do I want to go kind of like this, side to side? I don't know. It'll be a surprise. We'll see. But first off, I guess, to put these on, I need a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Should clean the surface here just to make sure we get good adhesion, since, again, it is held on by double-sided tape. So I'm going to go ahead, wipe all of them down, and then we'll come back on. I'll show you how one goes in. It's pretty simple. And then we'll tackle this little ring down here underneath the shift knob. Okay, we're going to start with, I guess, this one, just so you guys can see, so my arm's not in the way. Took the tape off. A little tip for you. Make sure you go around and push the tape down before you pull it off, just to make sure you've got good adhesion to the part itself. So we should be able to just stick it on here like so, in theory. Let's make sure it fits. And it is not fitting. That's not good. Seems, and I thought maybe there wasn't enough gap around the edge of the unit to put that on, and it seems like there is not. So it is not sticking on there. So I'm not quite sure. If I want to put it on, I might have to actually pull the vents themselves. Okay, apparently these rings do not fit my Toyota Tacoma. Let me show you. I don't know if they're supposed to fit maybe in a gap around the edge, but there is no real gap there. I did take the cover over the tape off, and I went to put it on, and it does not contact the chrome ring, so it will not stick. So I don't know if these are the wrong ones or what, but they definitely do not fit on my truck. So that's gonna be continued, I guess. We'll get back to that later. Sometimes, unfortunately, this kind of stuff happens. So next, we're gonna tackle this ring here. Hopefully that fits. I do think it will. I don't think there's any issue there. So let me sit the camera down. I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Okay, for this, again, it's a collar to black out the chrome. There is no double-sided tape or anything like that, so I'm assuming it just kind of slips on there. But to remove this, you should be able to just push the collar down, remove the knob itself, and then snap this piece on. That's my thinking. So let's go ahead and try it. Oh, well, that comes off very simply. And we should be able to just twist this off. And that's pretty easy too. So far so good, no big deal. There's the shift knob, it's off. Now, this can only go on one way, and that is this way. So it should snap right over, I believe. Let's push it on there and see what we get. I don't know if it actually snaps or just sits. But if it just sits, that's okay, because I believe the shift knob, once tightened up and pushed down, will hold it down. So let's give it just one more try to see if it snaps on there. And I don't believe it does. Alright, apparently not. So let's give it a try. Let's go ahead, twist the shift knob back on. We'll hold that down out of the way. Get this as tight as I want it, which I think is probably going to be about like that, but that's the wrong way, right? So let's bring you guys up a little bit. There we go. Let's twist it one more half rotation, I guess. I didn't pay attention to the way it was before I pulled it. So I think right about there is good. Now, should be able to just snap this back up. Just like so. And yeah, that's it. So it's held on by pressure from the ring itself. Just like that. That's it. Pretty easy. That's my kind of mod, actually. It goes on there easily. It just pushes up like so. I can't push it any further because it snaps onto the bottom of the ring that's around the shift boot, if you will, and the shift knob itself. So that's it. Pretty simple mod. Can't say that that was real complicated. The chrome is gone. You can't see it. I'm digging that. All right, I did do a little research on those vent ring covers. A little more involved than just sticking them on. So there will be a separate video for that. Something new. I haven't done it this way before, but looks like it'll be pretty solid once it's done. But look for that in the future. Not something I'm going to get into today because it's going to make this video way too long. So we did get the little trim piece on around the shifter. That's cool. Chrome is gone. But now, the disheartening thing that I kind of discovered when I was washing the truck today, which, by the way, I did. I washed it, I waxed it. It looks fantastic. You can look right down the truck right there. It looks pretty good. Now, the part that I'm talking about, when I was down here in the wheel well, I was kind of nosing around a little in here, as I tend to do, and I was considering what I'm going to do with a lift. And just in looking at the parts under here, I kind of discovered how flimsy the UCA is under here. If you look at this thing, and I think this differs from the off-road version and probably the sport version, I think it is a full metal or iron piece. I'm not exactly sure, maybe just steel. But this part is really just a flat, bent piece of steel or metal. You can put your finger up. You can see right here my thumb underneath because it's not solid. It's just a real thin area here. I mean, this can't be more than, I don't know, 3/16, I don't know, something like that, whatever, less than 1/4 inch in thickness. And it's that way all the way around. If you see here, my fingers go up underneath, like so. You see that? That's because this is not a solid piece. It's just a piece of formed metal, and it's that way all the way up to where it connects. How flimsy is that? Now, I do realize this is an SR5. It's not set up for off-road, this particular version, as far as the two-wheel drive goes. Maybe the four-wheel drive has a more solid piece in there. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, and I'd be curious if you have an SR5 in the four-wheel drive trim level or configuration, do me a favor, run out and check and let me know if your UCAs look like this or if they're a more robust, solid piece. I'd be real curious to know, because if they're not, I'm not sure how much off-road pressure these things can actually take, because there's just not much to them. Now, I don't know if there's a lot of stress on them, but still, you would think this would be a solid piece on the four-wheel drive. So a little bit of a difference if indeed there is. So the concern for me, of course, is once I lift this, I don't know that it'll put really any more stress on that part. And I'm not going to be doing any heavy-duty off-roading or anything in this truck. But that doesn't mean I won't take it off-road at some point. Who knows? So my concern is does this need to be beefed up, this UCA? And I think the answer is yes. I think it does. I think it's not nearly strong enough for any kind of a lift. I think if you're going to lift the truck, then you probably ought to address that while you're at it. Put in a different UCA or something to make that a little bit more robust under here, because it's just not much to it. So that's kind of what my concern is with this truck. I don't know, again, if it's a valid concern or not. It might be, it might not be, but something that I'm going to address anyway. I will be putting some kind of a stronger UCA on here at the same time. We are not going to maintain what we've got stock with the truck. And honestly, I think after my experience lifting the Sport that I had, which that one was a two-wheel drive, by the way, and the off-road, I think I would have put, in hindsight, different UCAs on those anyway. I really think that if you're going to lift the truck, number one, that's the time to do it. And I think it's pretty important that you beef it up a little bit if you're going to be adding any stresses to the truck. I don't know if it's anything really to worry about, but why not go ahead and do it while you're messing around with the rest of the front end of the truck? I just think it's a smart time to do it and a wise decision. So anyway, that is my concern. If you look under here, just way too thin. I'm not happy with that, and I will be changing it. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Is it a concern? Did you address that? Were you even aware as to how flimsy those things are? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Robmotive, FST, all about my 2021 Toyota Tundra. And Robmotive JT, all about my 2020 GLADIATor. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on your way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.